Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Gocharam Dhamma Govindam Paramanandam Sadgurum Pranatosmyam. Verse 471. Nirastaraga vinirasta bhoga Shanta sudanta yatayo mahante Vijñāya tattvam parame dadante Prapta param nivrutim yogad Nirastaraga vinirasta bhoga Shanta sudanta yatayo mahantah Vijñāya tattvam parame tadante Prapta param pravrutim yogat. Right. So, you are seeing here the ultimate fulfillment. Shanta, Sudanta, Yataya, Mahanta, Ante, Praptaha, Param, Nivrutim, Atma Yogat. Atma Yogat, being with one's own self. This person who is Shanta, Sudanta, Yati, Mahan, ultimately finds the fulfillment in himself. As we were seeing yesterday, that language is very beautiful. Shanta Samannute, where the person is Shama. Shama means, we saw it in Vivekachudamani as well as in your Tattvabodha classes, where Mano Nigraha, total awareness, alertness of your thought. This is something should be understood very, very clearly as to why so much emphasis is given on the mind and not with the world. Because most people consider that this world is very, very important. Yes, it is more important. But this world is of no consequence to me if my body is not there. Now you have a lovely body, but you have absolutely confused mind. That body becomes a curse, not a blessing. When your thought is beautiful, when you know how to think, any type of body is good enough. any conditions prevailing in the world also you can manage with it. But if your mind is confused with the best conditions prevalent in the world, body being excellently wonderful, still you can destroy yourself. But when you emphasize on the mind, and more specifically on the individual, the I, average person thinks it is otherworldly. There is no worry or concern about the creation. You don't understand. If you fix up somebody's mind, you don't have to fix his world. He will fix it. Think for yourself. If you fix somebody's mind, you don't have to fix his world. He will fix it for himself, like an educated person. To an educated person, you don't have to tell him to be hygienic, healthy, because he is conscious. More educated you are, more conscious you become. That you cannot live up to your expectation, that's a different thing altogether. There again comes your mind, learning how to handle it. But Shama, this insight into mind is very, very difficult. Like, there is a beautiful car, but the driver is drunk. Think. The car is with all the facilities, the best model car, but the driver is drunk. Physical body, there is no rich man's body, poor man's body. The child is born with whatever little food you eat, you grow up normally. But later on, inside that body, who is staying? Who is using that body? If you are not aware of yourself, your enormous riches or poverty, your body, ordinary or extraordinary, becomes a curse or a blessing according to the person that you are, the thought that you deal with. That is why so much of emphasis is given on the mind. Of course, when you give that emphasis on the mind, it is not the cost of the world. World must be taken care. But don't lose yourself only in the world or in the physical body. Therefore, Shanta, the person knows the nature of the whole inner landscape, where 4 types of thoughts are there. Mana, buddhi, chittam, ahankar. The mind, what we call as the doubting modes, sansayatmika antakarana vritti, shall I do, shall I not do, is it okay, not okay, that type of thing. Then buddhi, nischayatmika buddhi, whether deliberation, decision. Then chittam, memory of all kinds, decision, indecisions, perceptions, sensations, all kinds. And then the ahankar, the I thought. All these things you have seen elaborately, I am not going into that. So when you see all these 4 thoughts, in that I thought is most important. Because it is the I who deals with other thoughts. A thought by itself cannot drive you crazy, as even an object by itself doesn't drive you crazy. The I, individual, must decide. So when you thus know about yourself and therefore learn to use I thought and other thoughts, become very, very conscious so that you are aware. The moment this thought appears, you are aware of it. You are Shanta. Ashanta means the one who is always restless. I don't know what to do. This is going on. That thought is coming. This thought is coming. I don't know what to do. Are you getting that? You understand the difference clearly. Shanta means totally under control. You are totally aware what type of thoughts are coming. Just see that. It is like the people who are experts, those who are going in the, what they call as the rapids. You know, rapids in the river, they go through that. Average person cannot go. Because the average person, when he falls into that stream, that current, it will be drowning. But these people know, before they know it is coming, they first are aware, they know exactly how to manipulate. River rafting, they call it river rafting. In the rapids, where the strong current is there. So you know it is coming. So, if you sit down with them, you don't have to worry about it. You just, with a life jacket, you sit down there. They take the boat and go away. No problem. Same thing also. Thoughts are coming. But you are totally aware. You know exactly how to negotiate. No thought can ever overwhelm you. Shanta. This is, such people can understand the reality in themselves. Still more interesting is, which is a natural consequence, is Danta, Suddhanandaji, one who is a Dhamma. As I told you, if Shama is what to think, how to think, Dhamma is how to live your life. Understand the subtle difference between the two. When the Shama is, teaches you how to think, it gives you an insight into the thought. Dhamma is helping you to learn how to live the life. L-I-V-E, not L-E-A-V-E. How to live life. Danta. Because, please understand, nobody cares what you think, but everybody appreciates how you live. Are you getting that point, please? There is a huge gap between thinking and living. You can dish out, prescribe, reel out any number of noble thoughts. Even the worst criminal can do it. So what you speak is no greatness. How you live is the greatness. Like somebody says nicely, who you are is so loud, I cannot hear what you speak. Who you are is so loud, you are so angry, so jealous, so short-tempered, so restless, such a liar, such a manipulator, so insensitive, that I cannot hear what you say. And what you say? Advising, be kind, be compassionate, be nice. Keep that nonsense with yourself. Why? Who you are is so loud, I can't hear what you say. Are you getting that point, please? That is why your thoughts, your speech will not impress people. What will impress others is how you live that life. Danta, understand, Dhamma is living. A thought is coming. Suppose a thought comes like, that fellow is a rascal. A thought comes. That thought doesn't harm anybody until you speak it out. Are you getting that? A thought doesn't harm anybody until it is spoken out, until it is acted upon. Understand? somebody gives you a statement. You think it's an insult, it's a humiliation. Oh, what a fool you are. Your reaction is, how can he talk like that? But suppose you are conscious at that level. You can smile. The fellow speaks, so does it matter? Am I really fool? Yes. He tells what it is. I'm not. He talks nonsense. You are as it is. But average person, the moment somebody tells you fool, your mind, boom, explodes. Before you know, your hand has gone and slapped. Your leg has gone and kicked. Your mouth, your abusive remarks torrentially running down. You are an idiot, your father is an idiot, what are you, how can you say I am an idiot? Have you seen that? Do you understand what I am talking? Your speech and action, totally unconscious. Even if you do it once, understand, even if you do it once, that will completely counteract all that you have done so far. You never get angry, but you got angry only once. Angry once means really shaking and fighting and like that. Then, enough. You can never believe that person anymore. It's just like lying. A person tells that he speaks the truth, but he really cuts your throat, tells lies, manipulates. And the moment you find out, oh, enough, as they say nicely, I don't mind that you tell a lie, but I mind that I can't believe you anymore. I don't mind that you tell a lie, because if you tell a lie, you tell a lie. What can I do about it? But I mind. Why? Because I can't believe you anymore. Because you are telling a lie. How do I know which one is lie thereafter, which one is truth thereafter? The trust goes away. Understand? Very careful. So living your life, where your expression becomes absolutely beautiful. No unconscious shouting, fighting, unconscious movement of the hands, legs, hitting, all this stuff. Not there. Dante. Because, please understand, your thinking, listen carefully, your thinking, if you don't keep it under control, if you are not aware, it will create a chain reaction inside you. But if you are living, that is, you are speaking out and acting at the level of the hands and legs, creates a chain reaction outside. That is why your action has greater consequences than your thought. You understand? In your mind there is a thought, that fellow told me like that, he should not have told me like that, why did he talk like that? That is chain reaction going on inside you. Still it is confined to you. The moment you cannot keep it and you start shouting, how can you say like that? Now the person starts defending. You only told me like that. Then two people, when you are shouting, other fellow comes and joins him. That fellow is right, you are not. Then group. It becomes a battle. Are you getting that point? How subtle it becomes. That is why what you think is useless. In a sense, how you live is so very important. That is why these preachings from the top, dais, podiums, it means nothing. Who cannot talk good things? Everybody can talk good things. Can he not? How long it takes to say, you should not eat sweet? How long it takes? How long it takes to say, you should not be angry? How long? You should not disrespect anybody? Don't hurt anybody? How long it takes? 1 second. Anybody can say. But to leave that little line, it takes lifetime's effort. In a sense, you have to be totally conscious. That is why Suddhanta. Because when you do not create chain reactions outside, your mind also, thereby you stop feeding your mind. Are you getting that? If you do not create chain reactions outside, you stop feeding your mind. So naturally you are restful and you are with yourself. So such people, please understand, Sant nirasta raga vinirasta bhoga. Nirasta raga, they have no raga. Raga means shobhana adhyasa. Who runs after the objective world? Who runs after anything? One who imposes happiness in something or in some object, somebody or something, that person goes towards it. Or you impose unhappiness, pain in something, you run away from it. So your movements, whether it is pravritti, going towards it, nivritti, running away from it, both type of movement create agitation. Whereas when you are free from raga, dvesha, like and dislike, there is no unnecessary movement towards it or running away from it. You are already shanta. Binirasta bhoga. Also you don't see any sense of indulgence, bhoga, pleasure in the sense subject. It is a sensation, it can provide. Happiness is not there, that is myself. So with this type of disposition, you are not hating the world, nor you are unnecessarily obsessed with the creation. You see things as it is, unbiased. Therefore, your mind is beautiful, shanta. And tasmat danta. Therefore, you are at the level of your action, you are very deliberate. Therefore, there is no chain reaction. Suppose you give a statement to somebody, very consciously giving a statement to somebody. The person likes it. Okay. Doesn't like it? Okay. You don't spin further. I was trying to help somebody out, but that person is not interested. All right. Thank you. Some person doesn't like what you say, withdrawn. Sorry, I told that. Withdrawn. No chain reaction. Are you getting that point, please? You are very, very conscious. You understand, this is expression of wisdom. Don't be worried about, liberation, freedom. That is automatically, that is yourself. Nobody needs to liberate you. You are already liberated. You'll see now, it will come now. So Santa, Danta, Yatayaha, Mahanta, these people are Yati, Yatna, Shilavan, continuously conscious, and therefore Mahan Purusha. They have seen that which is the bigger than the biggest, Mahanta. Such people, Vijñāya Tattvam Parametadante, Vijñāya Param Tattvam, having known this supreme reality, that is themselves, consciousness everywhere, ante, at the end, param nivritim prapta, they are free, jivan mukta, living liberated, and when the body falls away after the karma is over, videya mukti, liberated after the body falls. So free when living, free when the body passes. Why? Atma Yogat. Because they are aware of themselves. Since it is so, read next. Bhavanapidam paratattvamatmane Swarupamanandaghanam vicharye Vidhuyamoham swamana prakalpitam mukta kruthartho bhavatu prabuddha bhavanapidam paratatvamatmane Swarupamanandaghanam vicharye Vidhuyamoham swamana prakalpitam Mukta krutartho bhavatu prabuddha Now thus the teacher gives the final advice to the student, the instruction. Since it is so, Shanta, Sudanta, Mahanta, Atmayogat Param Prapta. A person with insight into the mind, conscious living, aware of himself, free from the hold of birth and death, is liberated while living. When body passes, of course is liberated. To such a scheme of living, bhavanapi, you also. Idam paratatma atmanam vicharya, bhavanapi, you also, vicharya, having contemplated over, vicharam krutva. Vicharya, you also contemplate upon this reality of yourself. So far, all that I have told you, the teacher tells to the student. What is your gross body, subtle body, causal body, waking, dream, deep sleep, panchakosha, that then your viveka, vairagya, samadhi, satka, sampatti, what is discrimination, dispassion, what is insight, mind, with all that preparation, knowing about the three bodies, three avasthas, three conditions, five koshas, ultimately about yourself, Satchidananda Swarupa. Then creation, Srishti and Ishvara, the whole picture is complete. Vicharya, think over it well. Here there is no imposition. Because the arrangement is already there. You have to only discover it. You understand why it is not an imposition? Because there is already an arrangement. You have to only discover the arrangement. That is why in this question, in this teaching, there is no belief. You must accept it. Don't give me that. The arrangement is already there. You are already free. It is just like even a scientist discovering something. Think. Does the scientist create or they discover? Think. The person who is a physiologist, a pathologist who is dealing with the body or the virus or whatever, do they create different organs in the body or they just open up and discover? As simple as that. The voyagers, explorers who went around the world exploring, did they create or explore? They didn't create South Pole, North Pole. They only explored. Today when you are sending the spacecraft to the other planets and stars and galaxies, is it to create new stars or to explore new stars? Are you getting that point, please? And even if they are creating, say, oh, the computer was not that they created, the possibility was there. No scientist can create something, the possibility of which already doesn't exist. Are you getting that? The possibility is already there. That is why no learned person can ever take the credit or be proud, because You are not giving anything to anybody. You are not creating anything new. You are only discovering that which is already existing or exploiting the possibilities that are again already existing in the creation. What is a faith and a blind faith which should not be questioned? They tell you something which you shall never explore in this life. That is blind faith. You have to believe it. You have to wait after the death. You don't know whether you are really surviving or not. Or there is a God somewhere sitting down there. You have to believe. It's not a possibility. Understand? It's just somebody may not. You don't know. As even the science doesn't create a star but explore which is already existing, the self, the awareness, immortality is not something given by the teacher, promised by the scripture, but helps us to discover, the teacher helps us to discover that is something which is already existing in me. The arrangement is already there. Before people know that if the pancreas do not work, insulin is not produced, the liver doesn't work, some enzymes not produced, what is that? Diabetes will come. Until people got it, this connection, what were they thinking? God's grace only. God only cursed him. Just think. But once you see the possibility, that's right, same thing. Anger, hatred, jealousy are not natural tendencies given to man by God selectively. It is in everybody. Like possibility of what? Disease is in everybody. As even possibility of health also is in everybody. Possibility of bondage is in everybody. Possibility of liberation also is in everybody. No individual is away from that. One thing is, right from the beginning of our life, we are in touch with the bondage, but not with the liberation. We get ourselves tied down because when we are hunting for happiness in sensation, we get tied down to sensation. Sense of bondage comes. What the teaching does is just takes you around it. And he says, hey, what you are looking for is in yourself. Sensations are in the sense organ and sense, physical, in your sense objects. That can give you certain comfort and discomfort, but happiness is yourself. Body, living and dying, immortality is yourself. The whole arrangement is there. So, Bhavanapi, his teacher has given him, he is now giving to his student. Etad vicharya, think over it well. He doesn't say, ete vishwasya, believing it. No. What I say, don't believe. What he says, vicharya. Vicharya means what? Investigating, inquiring, questioning, challenging, vichara. Vichara in Sanskrit is a beautiful word. Vichara. Vichara means investigation, inquiry, challenging, questioning, putting upside down. There is no question of simply believing. You do respect, you believe. Why? Because this is what teacher says. So therefore I believe. But with a pinch of salt. I believe until I discover. With due respect, I believe. Because if you don't believe, you will not explore. Are you getting that point? Suppose you say, is there a life in Mars? No. Why should you explore? Will you send a spacecraft? For what? Suppose I tell you in this mountain, there are nice honeycombs. In this mountain, there are nice honeycombs. Then you say, nonsense, there is no honey here. How can there be any honey? Now, if you immediately dismiss it, will you go for looking for honey, collecting honey? Because you say it is not there. But a person says, there are trees, possibilities are there will be flowers, possibility there may be honeycomb. Okay, let us search for it. Then you search for it, it is not there. You come back, hey, it is not there, that's fine. But if you conclude before you search, you will not begin your search. That is why Shraddha, belief is pending discovery. Blind belief is accepting before discovery. The blind belief is you have to accept whether you discover or not. You don't worry. And if somebody encourages that type of belief that you have accepted that God in your life, what nonsense, which God? That is where people become fanatic. That is where people become insecure, prone to challenge, prone to disturbance. That is why they become violent. That is where you need thousands of people. Why? Because so many people cannot believe wrong. If so many people are believing, it can't be wrong. You try to find the security in the congregation. Try to find the security in the mass. Try to find the security in the crowd. Whereas the truth, like a Galileo, stands alone. It doesn't need anybody's sanction. When you see, you see. That is where he says, etad vicharya. The teacher says, you also having, what is that vicharya? Paratattvam atmanam. Think about the absolute reality that you are, Swarupa Ananda Ghanam, which is the ocean of bliss, pure consciousness you are, and thereby Vidhuyamoham Swamana Prakalpitam Prakalpitam Moham Vidhuya. Thereby, what do you do? Moha, the delusion, Swamana Prakalpitam, created by your own mind, you completely negate. Before you are aware of yourself, listen carefully, before you are aware of yourself, before somebody introduces you to that dimension, you are living your own lifestyle. Beautiful statement. Huh? This is life, live reality of life, picture of life. The child going about, taking the dust and putting in his mouth. What the mommy says? Don't do that. That's not good. Child says, okay, not good. He putting a pencil in the mouth. That is not food. Don't do it. Just see how it begins. You go on telling the child and he picks it up. But in the event of parents themselves not knowing where the happiness is, they don't know where to introduce the child for the happiness. So as if the parents are moving around, knocking every door for happiness, and therefore looking for sensation, the children also get used to the same madness. You give the balloon, you give these things, that's beautiful, you must do that. The child must play with things. But you cannot grow up to be a grown-up child. Like Shankara says, no, I told you. Valastavat krida sakta, tarunastavat taruni raktaha, bruddhastavat, I don't remember. Very good. Bruddhastavat chintamagnaha, parame brahmani kopina lagna. Balastavat krida. The child is totally obsessed with playthings. Balastavat krida. The grown-up child called a young one, now living with the living toys. Taruni raktahat. A girl is interested in a boy, the boy is interested in a girl. Now the dolls have fallen off. As a baby, when you are growing up, you need every doll around you. Barbie dolls, this doll, that doll, mechanical doll. Every toy you want around. One. How many you want? Your both hands are not enough. It's all mine. If somebody takes from there also one toy, that is mine. Don't touch it. That is the child's possessiveness. When you grown up baby, tarunastavat taruni raktaha. She is mine, he is mine, this is that one, that is that one. You want to possess not one, 15, 20, 30, trophy, you know. Relationship now means what? Trophy. How many trophies you have collected? Understand? living relationships I want. Grown-up baby playing with living toys. Vruddhastava chintamagna. And when you are old, you are worried about lost chances. I should not have done that. I should have done that. Parame brahmani kopina lagna. Nobody is interested in absolute. Why? Because the child is not introduced. The parents themselves don't know. That is why swamana prakalpitam moha. The delusion is created by one's own mind. Not knowing that happiness is myself, it goes on into different sense objects. Please see how it catches you. Please. Unconsciously, every child is cut. And that becomes the truth. Whatever you have heard from the childhood, you think that is the truth. You don't believe anything else. That is why to observe your mind, that kalpana, moham, vidhuya, completely washing it out. Washing it out means what? Understand. Doesn't mean, listen carefully. Washing it out, suddenly don't think, all these thoughts must be removed. No, no, no. You no more rely upon those conclusions. Please understand the difference between having your memories and not relying on memories. Are you getting that point? There is a huge difference between having your memories and not relying on the memories. Let the memory there, but I don't believe in that because they are wrong pictures. It is like, previously somebody had asked you, please draw the picture of a tiger. So you had made it like a swan. But when somebody showed you the real tiger, now you have got a real tiger picture, but you keep that swan figure, because as a child I thought this is a tiger. That is also in your drawing room. My brother was a very good in drawing. I was absolute idiot. Come to mathematics, top. Comes to drawing, bottom. If my teacher was asking me to draw the pumpkin, I remember I will draw a brinjal. Something strange. So he'll put the pencil between the finger and he's no good, Now, but when a child draws the pumpkin as the brinjal, the parents are very proud, isn't it? See, he has drawn. What? Pumpkin. Yes. You keep it, no? Even child's own bedroom, it will all be pasted. When he grows up to be 30, how do you look at it? Do you look at it as an idiot? Or you look at it as how? Lovingly. Hey, so stupid was I. Yes. You don't have to tear it off, but it doesn't affect you. Memories are like that. You can pick up many wrong memories. Why? Not knowing what is the truth, I was picking up so many rubbish. Now that I know the truth, let the memories be there. But I don't use them anymore. My old picture is there. When I drew the pumpkin as the brinjal, that picture is there. But in a drawing competition, I won't take it anymore. Are you getting that point, please? How sweet. You understand? Do you really understand? Or else you shall be fighting for the rest of your life to purify myself. What are you doing? I am purifying myself. You must make yourself pure, then only you shall know the truth. What nonsense. The truth doesn't wait for purification. You don't have to see, unless the pollution goes, you can't see the space. Unless the buildings are demolished, you can't see the space. What are you talking? Consciousness, yourself is the content of everything. Take it for yourself and see it. Samana prakalpitam, this kalpana, which you have not knowing, you saw your happiness where it is not. Now, demolishing that idea, seeing yourself who you are, mukta krutartho bhavatu prabuddha. Prabuddha bhavatu, may you wake up. Krutartha bhavatu, mukta bhavatu, may you be free, may you be awakened, may you wake up to yourself, may you be free. Krutartha bhava, kruta artham, kruta krutya, meaning feel fulfilled in life. Appa, no more struggle with the thoughts, memories, searching for happiness. Have you understood that? Have you sat down one moment like that? Check out for yourself. Is there anything more to be done in life? No. Free. Happy. Relatively, billion things can be done. I want to put up a school or a hospital, create a country, join the politics, join these. Those are all drama I have to play on. But by myself, for me to be happy, do I have to do anything? Nothing. Do you understand that? Do you really understand that? If you don't understand, what shall I do? Nothing. What shall I do? What shall I do? What can I do? You have to see for yourself. No, see, feel. Are you still struggling to be happy in life? Be restful, be in meditation. No, that's my nature. I'm struggling for creating an institution, helping million people, creating a hospital, doing something somewhere for somebody. That's a fantastic thing. You are happy with yourself, but you choose to struggle. Why? Reaching out to people. But for your happiness, there is no more struggle. You are happy, contented with yourself. Prabuddho bhavatu, kutartho bhavatu. Read. How will we do that? Samadhina sadhu vinishchalatmanam pasyatma tattvam sphutabodha chakshusha nishansayam samyabhikshi nishansayam samyap abekshitaschet Sruto padartho na punar vikalpyate Samadhina sadhu vinishchalatmanam Pashyatma tattvam sphutabodha chakshusha Nissanshayam samyagavekshitaschet Shruta padartho na punar vikalpyate. Beautiful. How do you do that? Samadhina sadhu nishchalatmana atmatattvam pasya sphutabodha chakshusha. Atmatattvam pasya. May you see yourself by samadhina sadhu vinishchalatmana. By samadhi, meaning where there is vinischala antakarana, your antakarana nischala, you are no more reacting to the objects or thoughts of any kind. Please understand, friends, when you say your mind is steady, Please take this point. If you don't understand, ask me. But you must see it. When you say your mind is steady, it does not mean the mind, there are no thoughts. What it means is there is no reaction to the thought. What creates your restlessness? The thought or the reaction to the thought? Please see for yourself. What is that something, listen carefully, what is that something creates agitation? The object or the reaction to its presence? What creates a sense of humiliation or exaltation, elation, depression? Is it the speech of somebody, an action of somebody, or the reaction to the action and the speech? When you are not there to react, you are always peaceful. Suppose you are living in this place in the absence of anybody, and therefore you delude yourself, you have been very quiet. You have been quiet? Or the situation is conducive? That is why the moment you go out, you are back to square one. Heavy reaction begins. Why? You deluded yourself that you have been enlightened now. That is why sitting in front of a wall and watching it for 10 days or 20 days or 1 month, you may get a great sense of relief that everything is fine. But the moment you come back, whoa, explosion begins. Why? Because the root is untouched. It's like exposing yourself to the sun, you get sunburnt. So you came and stayed in the particular place for 1 month inside the house without shade, without the sunlight. How do you feel? Hey, I'm fine. Go back. Phew. Again the eruption begins. Why? Because the root is there inside you. So Vinishchala Atmana means where the ahankar, the I thought doesn't come up to react. Why this, what happened, that, no. Because I know myself, samadhina, samadhi. Knowing my nature, koham, aham pratyaya gochara, who am I? I am the meaning of the word I, not the word I. Iti samadhina nischala atmatattvam pasya. May you see the truth of yourself. Sputabodha chakshusha, with the eye of wisdom, the third eye. Sputabodha chakshusha, the clear eye of wisdom, meaning being totally conscious of yourself. These two eyes, fleshy eyes, see things outside. If you close your eyes, they don't see things anymore. But you are conscious of eyes perceiving, with closed eyes, eyes not perceiving. Consciousness has no eyelids. These eyes have eyelids to close your eyes. Please close the consciousness. Come on. Appreciate. That is why traditionally describing the gods, the story is the gods don't wink, their eyes don't fall. That is the symbol. Like, the story of Nala? Nobody has read this. You should read all these stories. Beautiful. Even at old age also you can read stories, nothing wrong. At childhood, that's why I finish all the stories. God's grace, when I was in my village, growing up, we had a small village library. I finished all the books. 6th, 7th standard, finished all the books. Mahabharata, Ramayana, or Oriya book. Not in English, I didn't study until 5th standard or 7th standard. All vernacular language. That's why we should teach like that. Child should be taught in the regional language. Later on, you can pick up any language you like, because that comprehension should be there first. The mind should work. But today, extraordinary enthusiasm, everybody must start from the beginning. English, no. Your mother tongue must be there. Then you pick up any other language in the world. It doesn't matter. So the story is, Nala was one prince, and there is a Damayanti, one princess. They loved each other. They want to marry. But this Damayanti is so beautiful, even gods want to marry her. And these gods are all mischievous gods. They want to have all their problems. They want to cheat this fellow out. So what they did, the day there was the Swayambara. Swayambara means, the girl is not imposed that you must marry this boy. No, there is no such thing. 100 boys will come, you choose. Don't you think that the most beautiful thing to happen? There are 100 boys. Like that, Swayambara should be there. 100 girls, you choose which one you like. But she should also choose, And who will come there? Those who like to be chosen. So whomsoever you choose, they marry you. No problem. Now Nala is sitting there. Nala is very handsome. Now the gods knew they have no chance. So what did they do? They took the shape of Nala and they sat around him. Now there are 5 Nala sitting there. Now this girl has a tough time. How to find out which one is the real one? Because all the 5 are looking exactly same. And always the story is the princess will be dumb and the maid servant will be smart. So the princess looks at the maid. So what to do now? He says, lady, look at their eyes. The gods don't wink. Whichever fellow among these 5 is winking is the human. So pick up that. The story to show consciousness has no eyelid for it to wink. Always the same. That is why Puri, Jagannath, if you see, Chakarola, the round eyes, no eyebrow, always looking, because God cannot fall asleep. Consciousness is eternally ever existing, always conscious. So there is, what time we should pray? Morning, midday, once in a week, once in a month. That is why in this tradition, what is the prayer time? Any time. Which day? Any day. That is why nobody goes never. Absolutely permissive. You can pray anytime, anywhere. No problem. 24 hours. Because always awake. So, may you see that for yourself. So, you also see that. Sputabodha chakshusam, with your eye of wisdom. That is consciousness, which never ever is dimmed. Wide awake in 3 periods of time. Seeing that, Nissansayam samyak avekshita chet. And if you see avekshita chet, if you see it, Nissansayam, without any doubt. Ask yourself a question. Do you know yourself? Yes. Who are you? You know it. You don't have to answer. You are absolutely sure of your absolute identity. And therefore you can play all your relative identities as you like. Are you getting that? Suppose, imagine, if wisdom is a restriction, you are not supposed to play that role. Don't give me that. Any role you can play. When you know the truth, which place we should worship? Anywhere, anytime, any place. Can you do it in a temple? Oh yes. Can you do it in a church? Of course. In a mosque? Why not? On a mountain top? Yes. Inside a cave? Yes. Underwater? Yes. Digging a hole? Yes. Floating in the air? Yes. Why? Everywhere I am. That is why you don't find any difficulty in being with anybody at any time. You understand? Universal, absolute universal wisdom. But if you have to know this, means you are restricted to one thought, one idea, one book, one boy, one man, or one such God or all that stuff. What happens? Have you come for freedom or bondage? Come on. Did you come for freedom or come for bondage? You have plenty of bondage as such in the world. Now you come to religion, few more are added. And more dangerous one. With others you can flout. With religious freedom you are not supposed to flout. Are you getting that? With religious faith, is very, very dangerous. Because if you break it, whether God punishes you or not, this fellow will make you punish. And you got such a fear inside, you don't know what to do with it. Madhava, Madhava. Only when you come across this, I'll tell you, in London, it's a true incident. I was giving a program in Birmingham. Then one Indian doctor comes. He is a doctor, his wife is a doctor. Both are oncologists, cancer doctors. Their only son, his name was Balaji. Tall, handsome. But parents being what they are, totally anglicized. There is nothing Indian about them. They don't know. There is not even a puja room in their house. Nothing. Totally. Partying, doing dancing, doing this, doing that all the time. But one day, the son comes back, completely changing his religion, and takes another name and comes back. If you are curious, he has named himself Imran. Like many Britishers, many people are, youngsters are doing, because actively other people are propagating, he came back. Now parents' world collapsed. Because they thought the child is growing up and he'll never, suddenly. And he's doing his 5 times a day, that namaz and all that. They just couldn't take it. They were not religious, but suddenly, if the child is non-religious, they don't mind. But suddenly becoming religious, and then doing this. Oh boy. Then they went to so many places. Then somebody told him I was there. He came to talk to me. And I said, okay, what do you do in your life? Nothing. I said, then why are you worried? Let him do something. Because he finds some solace somewhere. What can you do about it? If you had given him enough security, thinking, he would have stuck to it. You are both busy in your professional lives. You have no time for the child. The child finds out a friend. And the friends give him a God or something. So he is holding on to it. Let it be there. A child is. After some time, many toys he is tired of, this also he will be tired of. Don't worry about it. You have sufficiently introduced him to secular pleasures. So he will be tired of his religious nonsense after some time, don't worry. But then how many parents can take it that way? And it may or may not happen also. Then they say, Swamiji, come to our place. I was reluctant to go because in that house there is nothing called a culture. The culture was, you can't believe, they can't even eat in the hand also. As though eating in hand is bad. That type of aversion towards India and anything Indian. Many people are like that growing up. But they think eating in hand is uncivilized. And, so many behaviors. I don't want to go into details of it. Anyway, I had to go there. I went there and I saw the person. Young boy, nice. And he was afraid to see me because he was only 16, 17-year-old. He thought I'll be converting him. I said, no, what are you talking? Are you comfortable with all these things? He doesn't know what to say. It's not comfort, peer pressure. Some friends have become like that. He wants to be that friend. Therefore, he goes that language. It's like you have been among the drug addicts, you have to take drugs. If you are the drunkards, you have to take drinking. If you are among the, sports person, you want to be a sports person. Depends on the company. So he has become like that. Then I said, why is it like that? Why don't you do you are doing puja worship, why don't you do these things? But can I tell him? Because he doesn't know what to worship. But then you know what he said? That is why I started this story. He said, no, if I give up this one, they have told me when I die, they will remove the skin and they'll put chili on that. Just I'm telling you the child, the type of fear you put in the name of God. Not that every Muslim does it or every Christian does it, every Hindu does it. It's not like that. Just think of a situation like this. Everywhere, entry, huge gate. Exit, exit is fully barred. Are you getting that? Million fears. If you go away, this will happen. It's a treachery, it's an unfaithful, you'll be punished. Why didn't you tell me all these things before I got in? And then you will not come in, you know. So what are they interested in? Understand? In this thinking, being yourself, you take your responsibility. You think for yourself. All these verses, the teacher doesn't say, take it because I say so. Take it because the book says so. Take it because you are so. You are the truth, not because the scripture says so. Because you are the truth, scripture reveals it. You are the truth, not because teacher says so. Because you are the truth, the teacher reveals it. Therefore, you says, Nisansayam samyak avekshita chet. Know it without any doubt and error. When you see yourself, you can learn how to play all your roles well. Whenever you take, understand, whenever you take a role to be yourself, you will have a doubt. You will have a suffering. Do you know why the caste system is stupid as it is practiced today? Because the professional is condemned to a profession. Who are you? Potmaker. Potmaking is your profession or you? Scriptures don't sanction it, but the society has practiced it. Are you getting that point? That is why, if you in the list of caste, there will be no scientist. Because there are no scientists. In the list of caste, there is no engineer. Because there is no engineer. In the list of, are you getting that? In the list of caste, what is there? When you say Brahmana, Vaishya, Kshatriya, Shudra, what does it mean? The guy who was doing some puja in the temple, the other fellow who was fighting the battles, the other fellow Vaishya business, these are the three varieties, and another person working. These are the four variety people who are there. Right? Among these Vaishya, suppose you say Vaishya, there is a cowherd, there is a barber, there is a washerman, right? Did you see lawyer has a caste? Because there is no law. There is no legal practice. Law was there, but there is no legal practice. King was doing everything. So there is no legal practice. So, lawyer is not a caste. Computer scientist, any caste? Have you seen? Why don't you make? If the caste system is like that, so today you should make those caste systems also, no? You understand? Because it is self-correcting system. Everybody can see the flaw in the practice. It can change. So if you want to remove caste system, from within you can remove it. But if you think, suppose some another religious fellow can say, I will convert you to and give you the dignity, you cannot. Why? Because it is gone into his head that he is a barber. It is gone into his head that he is a priest, you know. So the priest Christian will not marry the barber Christian. Just like you will not marry in Hindu tradition, priest will not marry a barber. So the priest Christian will not marry barber Christian. Same nonsense will continue. Other conversions cannot fix it. You cannot. That is why it has to be changed from within, not by converting. Around the world it should go. So, as even no professional, understand, as even no professional must be condemned to the profession, no religious person must be condemned to the religion. Are you getting that? As even no professional must be condemned to the profession, no faithful or person, religious person, will be condemned to the faith or the religion that he follows. Because that is a practice. That is an idea. That's not you. So be yourself. Nissanshayam. Then you will have no restriction, no boundary around you. You shall have no boundary around you. You are absolutely free as anybody else. Iti na Sruta padartho na punar vikalpyate. If you see it very clearly, Sruta padartha, whatever you hear, meaning whatever you hear, see, touch, taste, smell, na punaha vikalpyate, no more it shall create any confusion in you. Meaning thereby, after that you can take any role, see anything, perceive anything, experience anything, but nothing will create a problem for you. It's like actor who is not totally aware of himself, playing out thousands of roles. And being yourself is not a role. Therefore, please think it over. Having told, he reads. Swasya vidyabandha sambandha mokshat sattva jnanananda rupatma labdho shastram yukti deshikokti pramanam chanta siddha swanubhuti pramanam swasya vidyabandha sambandha mokshat satya jnanananda rupatma labdho shastram yukti deshikokti pramanam chanta siddha swanubhuti pramanam. Please underline this verse. It's an amazing verse it is. You will see that. Next one, that one as well as the next one. You will see. Very beautiful. Please revel in this. Sarupa swasya avidya bandha sambandha mokshat satya jnana ananda rupa atma labdhau shastram yukti deshikokti atma anubhuti pramanam. In order to get out of the ignorance and ignorance-born bondage, four things are necessary. Shastra, scripture, yukti, logic, deshikokti, the teacher, revealing, and ultimately your own experience. Four factors. See the beauty of this. In the beginning stages, while teaching you, I had told you, three things are very important. Shruti, yukti, anubhav. To get out of one's own ignorance, limitation, and a sense of bondage, by understanding yourself, Atma Upalabdhi, immortality that I am, you need these four things. He has added Guru. Four things. Shastra, Shruti, Yukti, Anubhuti, and Deshikokti. The scripture, the logic, the teacher, and ultimately your own experience. Please see how beautiful it is. First, every human begins with ignorance. Nobody begins with enlightenment. Right? Simple. You ask a fellow in the street, are you ignorant or awake? Are you ignorant or aware of yourself? What shall he say? Everybody is ignorant of himself. The person, no, I know myself. Oh, you know yourself. Who are you? Then what shall he say? Just think. Just see ordinary conversation. Take it as a game, like a child's play. Please don't grow up. Huh? Start like a baby, you will understand it just like that. Like a baby. Don't try to be too much intellectual. Do you know why? Because then you will justify your nonsense. You know, why people cannot accept things? Like a person who is involved with a problem, or involved with an administration, or involved with an organization, involved with anything, person is fully involved, usually such people will not be available for listening to anybody. Why? I know. That is unconsciously, it goes into everybody. Suppose somebody is teaching mathematics. You go and try to talk to them about mathematics. I know everything. Just, no, please appreciate their psychology. There is a cook. Please try to teach a cook some cooking. You shall have the toughest time of your life. If the person thinks, what is that to know? I know everything. He doesn't understand there are millions of varieties of cooking. As a painter, you try to teach some painter some painting. We hear the last word. Teach some musicians music, just offer to teach some musicians some music. He shall think you must be audacious, arrogant and stupid, not to appreciate his greatness, and you are offering to teach him also. Like a person who is involved with a case, fighting with a brother, sister, man, husband, wife, like that. Try to give them some advice. We know our situation. What do you know? They're so full of it. They can't come out of that whirlpool. They can't have an outsider's view, but they're not interested in an outsider's view. Why? We know. That is why morass. It's like you are inside the mud. Religions are not ready to listen anymore. Why? Oh, you know. What do you know? But as long as you are lost in it, anything for that matter, you will not be prepared even to listen anything about it. Accepting your own ignorance is a huge step. That I don't know is the first step towards knowledge. And how many people will accept that they don't know? Try out and then you will know. That is why entertainment in the name of religion will be accepted by millions. But teaching in the name of religion will not be accepted. Why? Because everybody thinks he knows himself. Very difficult. Why the world is in trouble? Imagine thousands of ignorant people hanging around as though very knowledgeable. And more educated you are, you become more dangerous because you are misusing your information. You have all the power at your disposal. I told you that example. Throw a bullet, nobody will die. He will catch it, throw at you. It's a ping pong in a bullet, no problem. You throw the bullet and the fellow brings out a gun and loads it. Will you stand there? Run for your life. Go beyond the range. Why? When a powerful weapon is delivered, the small bullet becomes deadly. Average man is angry. When he is angry, neither the wife cares, nor children care, not he cares or she cares. Nobody bothers. Because ordinary fellow, idiot he is. Who cares? Let him be angry. But the same fellow becomes angry when the Prime Minister and is angry, whole country will shudder. Because the Prime Minister's position it goes. Are you getting that? That is why when fanatics become the Prime Minister, religious nuts become the presidents. Imagine, people with huge personality problem occupy the positions of leadership. Do you know what? And today's world is governed by so many lunatics. Think. To tell them that they don't know, oh, it's the toughest time. Accepting one's ignorance is the first step. Understand? So, ignorance. Swasya ajnana. Bandha. And because of your ignorance, you are bound. Bound in the sense of bondage. What is the sense of bondage? Which manifests in different types of psychological problems, physical problems, emotional problems, intellectual disillusionment. Understand? They are all precipitated like that. Your ignorance is precipitated like that. So many problems come in life. Now you want to be free. Most people will not like to look at that side. Just like, please appreciate, like a very rich person, but he has a fight with his wife. They will keep it hidden for the rest of their lives. Why? They don't want other people to know that they have got a private problem. Understand? Many times in life, what do they say? Privacy law is what? Don't interfere with our privacy. Meaning, we can live in the rut, but don't try to rescue us. Fight, shout, destroy each other, but outside coming in, smiling and holding the hand. Inside that house, oh my God. Understand? Many people live that double standard. Many people live that double standard. Unhappy inside, but for others' consumption, appear to be very comfortable. Education has not solved the problem, money has not solved the problem, around the world tour has not solved the problem, but the person doesn't want to admit that he is frustrated, is miserable. So to accept you are ignorant is a huge step. And then, ignorance of what? Listen carefully. You are ignorant not of the world, because of education you know about the world, you know about the cars, you know about the houses, you know how to build, you know how to cook, you know how to think. Relative ignorance is removed lot. One ignorance remains is self-ignorance. You don't know about yourself. That is the problem not many people know. They think, history only I know, geography if I know, it will be fine. Mathematics I know, it will be fine. Physics I shall know, it will be fine. No. Ignorance of other things are not a problem. Ignorance of yourself is a problem. Are you getting that? Because everybody cannot know everything. Can everybody know swimming? Can everybody know dancing? Can everybody know physics, chemistry, mathematics, history, geography? Oh my God. Can everybody know everything? Cannot. So ignorance of other things create topical problem. Suppose you don't know swimming, you can't get into water. If you don't know driving, you can't get into a car to drive it. If you don't know cooking, you can't get into a kitchen because you don't know cooking. If you don't know flying, you don't get in the cockpit. That's fine. If you don't know yourself, you can't get in anywhere. Why? Because wherever you go, problem enters. You know flying, but you don't know yourself. You will be a problematic pilot. You know cooking, but you don't know yourself. You'll be a problematic cook. You don't know yourself, but you can play football. You'll be a problematic football player. Yesterday, newspaper, you shall see, very educated girl, wife of a businesswoman, only a businessman, 25-year-old, 26-year-old. You should see the dress. Lovely cut Indian ethnic silk dress. Colored photo has come. 26, 27-year-old. A lady working in their house. She will be 50 plus, 60. Had taken 3,000 rupees from her. Only 3,000 rupees. Supposed to give back with interest. But working for him for last 2-3 years. 3 days she didn't come. Angry, she goes. Brings her from her house, drives her from her house, takes home. What you are going to hear, you will collapse. Watch steady. Ties her down to the, gas thing. Chula, gas chula? Huh? That 2, 3, 4, no? Stove. The gas stoves. Then ties her that pallu, that sari and puts, what is that? Kerosene, lights it up. Can you believe? And then takes her to the hospital, push it there, goes to the police and tries to tell the police to cover it or whatever nonsense. That part you don't know, true, false. I am not interested in that part. Believe. Just see what it is. Enough money, highly educated, all the riches, good dress, good looking. There is a devil inside. How? The person is not aware of himself, doesn't know what he is doing. So you can be a great painter, great musician, great politician. That is where religion also comes included. You can be a great religious one, following a ritual, following a tradition, following a god, following these things, but you can be nuts. Just like a devil inside a cook, or a rich man or woman, there is a devil inside devil means ignorance inside the religious person. So, my religion, oh my God. Atmopalabdho, that is why to know about yourself, to understand about yourself as to who you are, is not even no religious identity. You have no secular identity, no religious identity, because every identity that you take yourself to be is ignorance. So, to accept, oh my God, I don't know anything. Can you tell that to a religious man? One who is teaching is like telling a psychology, you don't know anything about your mind. How will you think a psychologist will take it lying down? A person who is advising on food, tell him you don't know anything on nutrition. Can he take it? About nutrition you may know. Maybe about thoughts also you can know, but you don't know about yourself. Self-ignorance creates maximum problem. In fact, all problems come out of it. Other creates topical problems. If you remove that, suppose your swimming pool creates a problem, remove the swimming pool. Problem is solved. But that idea, I don't have a swimming pool, who is going to cure it? Or I want a swimming pool, who is going to cure it? That greed, bigger, bigger, bigger. Understand that I, that is why, ahankar. So when in that, atma upalabdho, satya jnana ananda atma upalabdho, to know yourself as the pure awareness, blissful, everything, these four things will help you. What? First, Shastra, scripture. What is a scripture? Define, understand. What is a scripture? That we shall call a scripture which will give us the knowledge which you cannot get from other source. Anadhigata, avadhita, jnanajanakam, shastram. Shastra is, that we call the scripture which gives us the knowledge, anadhigata, which you can't get from somewhere else. Physics will make a physicist, but physics will not give you the knowledge of the self. History will make you a historian and make you know about the world, but will not make you about yourself. Every subject like that, mathematics, every subject, it has got their own limitation. Atmagyan, you cannot get from any other source. Oh no, but they will introduce us to, but there are many scriptures which tells me I am this or I am that. I am follower of this religion, follower of that religion. He said, no, that is not the truth. Why? Avadhita. It must give you a knowledge of yourself which cannot be subject to cancellation and verification. Very tight definition. It's not giving you a new identity, but giving you an identity which nobody can take away. Not because you are fanatically holding on to it, but because you are it. Understand the difference. Avadhita. Because if you pick up a religious, just like you pick up a secular role, if you pick up a religious role, you have a role. That is why people get into trouble. As a physicist, mathematician, historian, musician, painter, they get into problem. Follower of this religion, that religion also get into problem. Like two physicists don't accept each other, two mathematicians don't accept each other, two dancers, musicians don't accept each other, two religious, two faithful people, the people from two different faiths will not accept each other. Why? Because each one thinks is smart. Because conflict of roles. Whereas who you are is not a role. So that is scripture which tells you the knowledge of something which cannot be found from any other source, and once found, it should not be subject to cancellation or verification. Tight. Shastra. So it says what? You are infinity. Oh, I am the only one? No, everybody is. Just see that. You are only one? No, everybody is. Same thing. This is all very nice to hear. It's just a pep talk, trying to pat my back. No. Yukti. Logically, it must be convincing. Just because Shastrokti, just because the scripture declares, you don't have to swallow it. Yukti, logically convincing. Logically. Why you are that? Because there is a difference between what you have and who you are. And at no time you must take what you have to be who you are. This is logic. You have a dog. Are you a dog? Huh? I'm going to take medicine today. What happened? Dysentery. When I didn't see you suffering, my buffalo has dysentery. When your buffalo has a dysentery, should you take medicine? Right? Understand? Your body has a problem, fix the body. But don't drag the limitation onto yourself. Fix your thought. So yukti, logically it must be convincing. Acha? What type of yukti? Listen. Shastra sammata yukti. The logic which is based on that absolute. Understand? And more important, anubhuti, your experience. Just because Shastra, scripture says you don't have to take it. Anubhuti, your experience. What is my experience? When I say there is no happiness in the object, it is not an injunction. Don't go for the object. Hey, don't do that. Why? In object, there is a sensation, there is a comfort, discomfort. But the happiness question, don't talk about it. That is your experience. That's your anubhav. As they say, money can bring you, purchase you food, but not a hunger. They can purchase you people, but not love. It's not there. That is your anubhav. So every logic is related to your human experience to show how in any moment of happiness you are with yourself. Even though it looks like you are with the object, but in reality, in the moment of happiness, you are with yourself. And these things, who points out? Deshikokti, the teacher, points out. Why? A book by itself doesn't teach. In the book there may be knowledge, but by yourself if you read, you can't get it up. Listen carefully. By yourself if you read, you cannot get it. That is why in the beginning you must be taught. After that you can read by yourself, Swadhyaya, study yourself, million years, doesn't matter. But in the beginning if you study, do you know what happens? Without knowing anything, suppose you study, what shall you read in the book? What you know, not what the book wants to convey. Convenience will be law. The book says, I am the absolute. Oh, it's a good statement, but you can't take it. But suppose the book says, oh, you don't have to get rid of anything to be happy. I think that's right. Because you don't want to get rid of anything. Whichever will be suitable, your mind will take it. That is why there is a statement in scripture you cannot believe. Shankara says, Mahapanditopi, even if you are a great scholar, Shastra Vicharam, investigation into scripture, Swatantrena ma kuryat, by yourself don't do. Even if you are a great scholar, inquiry, investigation into the scripture should not be done independently by yourself. Go with a teacher, one who knows. Or else you will interpret according to your limited thoughts that you have got. And after finishing listen carefully, why the danger? After finishing the study of the scripture, the ahankar, the I sit down there, I have finished this book. Have you finished yourself? Forget it. So if the fellow becomes, after studying the Upanishads, should you know about yourself or you should be one who has studied the Upanishads? After finishing the book, I will sit down there, I have read all Upanishads. I have read, Swamiji, I have finished all the Upanishads, I have finished all the Gita. I don't know why there is a trouble. Naturally. There will be many problems because you have read. So the I, instead of melting away into the truth, now it has fattened itself with information. Previously I was physicist, now I am a Shastri also. I know everything. I know all the scriptures. Then what is your problem? Hey, look, please understand. If you eat food and your system can assimilate, you remain thin. If you eat food and your system cannot assimilate, you become obese. When you pick up all the information and all the informations are assimilated into your being, you are absolutely light. Because all the words means yourself. Therefore, you don't have to carry the load of words in you. But if all the words are collected and not the meaning is seen, you become bharasyavaha. You become the carrier of the load of the words, nadu chandanasya, like the donkey who carries the load of sandalwood, but the biggest nose doesn't enjoy the fragrance of sandalwood. So you carry the load of information, but your living is useless. Are you getting that? That is why Deshikokti, the teacher must teach. And when the teacher says, teacher reveals, whatever teacher it will be, the teacher will not say, I say so. Your personal philosophy, keep with you. I want truth. I have not come here to be bound by further nonsense. Absolute freedom. Are you getting that point? So you don't get tied to the scripture. You don't get tied to the teacher. Anubhava. You analyze every one of your experience related to the scriptural declaration. When the teacher says, see the truth, iti, and ultimately you get the sanction from within yourself. True. Nischalatmana, no agitation of any kind, no confusion of any kind. I am indeed myself. This is your iti pramanam. So that becomes the pramana, the help by which you can understand the truth of yourself. So pick up the scripture, listening to the scripture from the teacher, think over it. Logically, making use of your experience, see the truth in yourself. Why? Because, read the next verse, very important again. Bandho mokshyascha truptischa chinta rogya kshudadayah svenaiva vedyayat jnanam paresham anumanikam bandho mokshyascha truptischa cintanya cintarogyaskhudadayah svenaiva vedyayat jnanam paresham anumanikam. So beautiful, you know. He says, this is, please, bandha, moksha, trupti, chinta, arogya, kshudadaya. Bondage, your sense of bondage, freedom, trupti, satisfaction, anxiety, sense of well-being, free from disease, hunger, thirst, all these things only you can know for yourself. Somebody can know for you. Are you getting that point, please? So if you say somebody is going to be free for my sake, you know, where the people are believed, my guru is liberated, so I am going to be liberated. What? Somebody has given his life or somebody has done something for me, therefore if I believe in him, I am going to be free. What? When you are hungry, somebody cannot eat. When you are bound, how can somebody be free for you? But when you say faith, this is where comes brainwashing. You believe, you shall be free. Why? Because he is free. He has sacrificed himself or done some nonsense for your sake. So you have to, if you believe in him, you will also be free. Now suppose somebody believes in him. Why? Because easy things to be done. I believe in him. I am free. Why? Because that fellow has done something for my sake. Now if you say, what nonsense is that? How can that person be free for you? You are disturbing my faith. Now what can you tell? Okay, you stay. And that is the time to keep that faith going. You need numbers. Then you are disturbing more number of people, so it will be a crisis situation. So keep the ignorance going, right? Understand how the ignorance finds its shelter in a mass, where people prevent themselves to be challenged. A faith prevents itself to be challenged. It becomes so dangerous. Please, knowledge is not discovered by faith. Please. The truth is not determined by vote. How many people believe in this, how many people don't believe in this? The truth is not determined by that. Every scientist, every advanced thinkers, whenever they have proposed something new, the whole world would have stood against them. Because it is something out of the usual. It's unusual. It's extraordinary. It's out of the ordinary. So people will not like to take it. It creates a confusion. But ultimately that wins. Long time. In long history. Someday, somewhere, somebody accepts it. So you don't determine truth by that. But somebody has been brainwashed to believe you are free because somebody is done this. No. Bandha, your sense of bondage. Are you bound? You only can feel. Are you free? You only can feel. Are you hungry? Ask my mother. Can you say that? Are you hungry? Ask my mother. Have you got enough? Did you have enough food? Ask my father. You don't ask anybody about that. About yourself. Are you getting that point, please? You don't ask somebody, this man, this thing. No. Understand? Chintadaya. Is there a thought in your head? Do you have a thought? Yes, ask somebody. You can't ask somebody. Anxiety, hatred, jealousy, nothing. It is all done by you. Arogya. Please see that. Bandha, moksha, trupti. Are you satisfied? Are you satisfied? Ask somebody. You must say by yourself. Chintadaya kshuda. Are you thirsty? You don't have to ask somebody else. Think. Are you thirsty? Suppose somebody asks you, are you thirsty? You can't ask somebody else. No. That is your anubhava. Same thing. Are you free? Ask my teacher. Understand? That is why when some people say, my teacher says I am free, is high class nuts. Why? Because the teacher will not say you are bound because he has to take the credit, no. So he tells you, he considers your bondage to him is freedom. Now what do? You are thoroughly destroyed. He ties you to a ritual, ties you to a practice, ties you to a faith, ties you to something, then he says you are free. Free of what? By chance somebody touches it, challenges it, you are finished. So see the beauty of this verse. Bandhascha, mokshascha, truptischa, chinta, arogya, kshudadaya. All these bondage, freedom, satisfaction, contentment, hunger, thirst, svenaiva vedya. Only you can know for yourself. Yad jnanam paresham, that is not something given to others to know. If others say that, anumanikam, it is only inference. That's not knowledge. He must be hungry. You say that. He must be hungry. Your anuman. That is your inference, not truth. That person is free. Your inference. That is not truth. Or he is bound. That is your inference. That's not truth. What a person says, that is truth. Listen. Now, but suppose a person is bound by so many rules and he says he is free, then challenge it. That is why when somebody challenges it, you don't feel uncomfortable. You say you are free? Yes. Why? I have my own car. So you are dependent on a car? You don't know what to do. Are you free? Yes. Why? Because I believe in this. Take your belief out. If by depending on something you are independent, what type of independence is that? By depending on something, can you be independent? Understand? By holding on to a tree, if you are strong, who is strong? You are the tree. By chance the tree goes, you also go with the tree. Here is a flood. You are holding on to the branch of a tree and you think you are very strong. And when the tree is uprooted, you go with the tree. Right? But if you know swimming, you are not dependent on the tree. You swim and get away. Understand? Please. That is why in the religious faith, many people die with the faith. You have to fight for the faith. Instead of faith defending them, they have to defend the faith. Are you getting that? The truth doesn't need a defense. You don't need to defend the truth. If it needs to be defended, it is not truth. Your truth is self-defense. It can stand by itself. Why? Because this is truth. Finish. About yourself. So if you take a falsehood, a role to be yourself, then you shall be falsified. You develop a dependence when you see yourself as you are. So that you can see for yourself. So remember the statement, Shastra, Yukti, Deshikokti, as well as the Swa-anubhuti. These are the pramanam. In the understanding of yourself, the scripture tells you, you are infinity absolute. Nothing less than that. Just because scripture says that, you don't have to take it. Logically, it must be convincing. Just because it gives logic, that is not truth. It must be experientially true. And because it is there, a teacher reveals it to you. Because by yourself, when you study it, you shall see, read what you want to read, not what is written there. That is why a teacher, only a facilitator. A teacher, a facilitator. You don't depend on a teacher, depend on a scripture, depend on something for your being who you are. That is where the teacher takes away that dependence, helps you to understand yourself, who you are. And that is something you feel for yourself, not somebody feels. Because this is something like your hunger, thirst, satisfaction, contentment, which you feel for yourself. Somebody else inference, anumanikam, not reality. So see that for yourself. You are free. Okay? More of it we'll see in the afternoon. Close your eyes.